Hi, my name is Kendall Redding, and I'm the Family and Consumer Sciences Agent at the Powell County Extension Office. And today I'm going to walk you through a new recipe that we have in our 2021 NEP calendars. We just got these in, so we're super excited about them. And I'm going to show you how to cook the January recipe, which is a burger bowl. Okay, so here's our recipe. So this is kind of a different take on a regular cheeseburger. So if you have some New Year's goals this year to maybe lose some weight or maybe just eat healthier in general, this might be a good alternative to your usual cheeseburger. So it's basically like a cheeseburger salad. So we are going to start with our salad dressing, which I already have mixed up over here. So in this bowl, we have a 1/3 cup of mayonnaise, a 1/4 cup of ketchup, a tablespoon of olive oil, half a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, a 1/4 teaspoon of sugar, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now you can kind of mix and match this to your liking. If you want to add more seasonings to it, you can. You can swap out different vinegars if maybe you don't have apple cider vinegar. Like you could use a regular white distilled vinegar or any kind of cooking vinegars that you might have in your pantry already. You could also add some garlic powder to this, some onion powder, any kind of mixed seasonings that you might like. Yeah, so you can kind of mix and match it to your taste. So we are just going to set this aside. And then next, we're going to assemble our burger meatballs. So we're just making tiny burger patties. So in here I have some ground beef, and this is an extra lean ground beef. It's a 10% fat ground beef. Now you can use really whatever you have on hand. You can use just regular 80/20 ground beef. You can substitute ground chicken or ground turkey if maybe you want something a little bit leaner. You can also use those pre-seasoned ground meats you might find at the grocery store. So if you just happen upon some on sale and you stock up, you can definitely use those for this recipe as well. So we're going to take our 1 pound and we're going to make 15 tiny meatballs. They're going to look something like this. So this recipe does serve 5 people. So 15 meatballs is going to give each person 4 as 1 serving. So I have my pan over here preheated. We'll patty these out and throw them in the pan. Okay, so I have my mini meatballs here, and we're just going to lightly press them to make them into a small burger patty, pretty much. So just slightly flatten them and go ahead and add them to our pan, which is heated to medium heat. I can probably fit about 5 or 6 of these in here. So if you had a lot of ground beef in your refrigerator already, maybe you found a lot on sale and you're trying to make some space in your refrigerator, you can make these ahead of time and freeze them at this point. You can also go ahead and cook them through and freeze them that way too. And then that way you can save them for later, maybe make this meal in the future, or you can just add these to other meals and use them for different things. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to add 6 in here, and we're just going to cook these for a few minutes on each side. So now that I have my hands clean and we're waiting on our mini burger patties to cook, we are going to go ahead and start prepping our vegetables. So over here I have some washed romaine lettuce. And you can use whatever kind of lettuce you have or whatever kind you prefer in this. I'm just going to roll this up a little bit and go through and give it a rough chop. Like I said, you can use other types of lettuces for this. Just keep in mind that the darker the lettuce, the more nutrients it is going to have. So the more vitamins and minerals that it will have. So things like iceberg lettuce is not going to be as nutrient dense as maybe spinach would be. Okay, so now we're just going to add this to our bowl. And then we will start chopping some other toppings. So here I have red onion that I've already peeled and cut in half. We're just gonna make some slices, just a few to add on top of our salad. And I don't really like large pieces like this because I find them a little bit difficult to eat. So I'm just going to go through one more time, make them a bit smaller. And then we'll just take this and sprinkle it on top. And then I'm gonna add some tomato too. So I have a large tomato here. We're just going to make a few slices. And same deal here, I think I'm going to make them a bit smaller, just to make them easier to eat. And we will add this to our salad bowl here. And then we'll just set this aside while we wait on our meat to finish cooking. Okay, so now we have our mini burger patties cooked. They look something like this. We're going to assemble our burger bowl. So here are the vegetables that we chopped earlier. And to this, I'm just going to add 4 of our burger patties. And then to this, we will add our salad dressing that we made earlier. We're just going to drizzle some of the dressing on top. And then our last topping is going to be some shredded cheese. This is a sharp cheddar, but you can use whatever cheese you have in your refrigerator or whatever you prefer. And this is our final product, our January burger bowl. So a few things about this recipe. Like I said, this would be easy to make ahead of time if you had extra ground beef. Maybe you're a household of 1 and you don't need to make 15 burger patties. You can go ahead and cook them all up and put them in a freezer safe baggie and keep them in the freezer and just pull them out for later. Also, this salad has 30% of your daily value of iron, and it also has 1 serving of vegetables. And you could increase that by adding more vegetables. You could make this a complete meal and serve it with another side of a vegetable. You could serve it with a whole grain bread or a whole grain roll. You could also add some croutons to this. You could serve it with a side of cottage cheese, add another serving of dairy. This is also a really kid-friendly recipe. It's an interesting way, like I said, to eat a burger. So kids might find this really fun. They could add different toppings to it to make it a little bit different. You could add some guacamole to this, some salsa, maybe even pickles or jalapenos. Just keep in mind the things that you add or even take away are going to change the nutritional value of this recipe if that's something that you are worried about. And you can also have your kids help you make this recipe too. So this is a fun recipe for kids to eat, but it would also be a fun recipe for them to make at home, maybe as a family. So kids could help with mixing up the ground meat, with rolling out the meatballs, which that would be a good way or a good time to teach them proper hand washing too. They could also, if you have younger kids, you could have them tear up the lettuce, and for older kids and you're comfortable with letting them use knives, they could help you chop the vegetables or even grate the cheese and things like that. So this is a super fun recipe to make. Like I said, fun way to eat a cheeseburger, different, something new. If you do happen to make this recipe, please share it with us and tag us on Facebook. And I hope that you will tune in for the next recipe of our 2021 calendars. If you have not gotten one of these, you can come pick them up at the extension office. So just a little sneak peek of the recipe for next month. It is an easy peasy mac and cheesy, so I hope that you will join me for that. Thank you.